As chair of the Students' APPG, I spent January taking evidence from students, universities and landlords with members from across parties, including two of the minister's Conservative predecessors. And we reported to government that they should substantially increase hardship support, at least doubling the student premium funding of £256 million, which was intended for other purposes, enable full rent refunds for unused accommodation and address lost education. Now, the government has recognised the problem but failed on the solutions. The minister will know that for many students, the maintenance loan doesn't even cover rent. They fund their studies from part-time work in hospitality and retail jobs that have disappeared through the pandemic. Her new hardship fund equates to around £26 per student in England, or wages for half a shift in a bar job. Wales and Scotland have provided hardship funding of around £300 and £80 per student. So can I ask the minister, does she not accept that students across the country deserve the same level of support? Many students have contracted for accommodation they have been told not to use, and the minister has congratulated universities and providers that have offered rent rebates. The amount varies, and many students have received nothing. So does she accept the inequity, particularly between students in university accommodation and the private rented sector? And what will she do beyond simply encouraging providers to do better? Her statement is also silent on learning loss. Universities and their staff have worked hard to offer the very best education, but it can't match normal learning. And for some students, it will damage progression or professional qualification. We were told of lost teaching, access to labs and specialist facilities, missed field trips and more. So will she commit to discussing a learning remediation fund with the Chancellor? And if not, what steps will she take to ensure today's students aren't held back? Finally, will she join us in asking UKRI to extend research studentships where needed? And will she provide support for PGR students who are funded differently? Mr. Speaker, students have had their education disrupted, they will enter a challenging jobs market, and they will be paying the cost of the pandemic for longer than the rest of us. They deserve better.